And what are you looking at?
Hello again and welcome back to Storm Talk. Today we will be looking at Gul'Dan, Darkness Incarnate. It seems like they're using the Gul'Dan more from the movies than the games. I mean, with the way his spells work, he is basically just a warlock. This is exactly how you would expect a warlock to function in-game.
Fulfill your destiny, and worlds will fall before us.
Obviously assuming that you don't have like some massive fear mechanic. So let's go ahead and do the usual. You can read his little blurb and we'll look at his character design.
Just imagine the terror we could unleash together.
All in all, I do like his character design. His robe, you can see it's tattered and kind of being sewn together and held together. I wish they'd kind of keep his bones a little more bony looking. The way they look, they kind of look more like metal armor plates. Other than that, he got a floppy wobbly beard.
Fulfill your destiny, and worlds will fall before us.
So, let's go ahead and take a look at his abilities. First off, his trait, Life Tap. It costs you health, you gain back 25% of your mana. Pretty simple. Fell Flame, costs 75 mana, has a cooldown of 1.5 seconds,
Just imagine
and you release a wave of flame.
terror we could unleash together.
Drain Life, a cooldown of 10 seconds. Drain the life of an enemy over 3 seconds. You deal damage and gain health. Corruption. You call forth 3 bursts of shadow energy, dealing damage over time. This can stack 3 times, costs 90 mana, and has a 16-second cooldown. Horrify. 90 mana with an 80-second cooldown. After a short delay, deal 120 damage and fear enemy heroes within an area for 2 seconds. This has a very small area of effect. Or Rain of Destruction. Summon a rain of Summon a rain of meteors. Where am I getting meteorites from? And why can't I say meteorites? What the hell? In an area for 7 seconds. Each meteor deals 165 damage in a small area. This has a huge area of effect, but each meteor has a very small area of effect, and you can't aim them. I'll show you this when we get in the game. So, for skins, you have Gul'Dan, brown variation, and green variation. Master Gul'Dan,
Fulfill your destiny,
red,
and worlds
and
will fall
Bell.
before us.
And then Bell Spider, red, purple, and green. I like the purple variation because there's just more color possibilities here, and it just kind of fits better with that spider map that we already have. So I'm going to go ahead and try this one. I do apologize if I sound a little bit weird. Holiday weekend and all, I got a little bit of water on here.
Trials before me, they will each fall in turn. Infinite possibilities.
So, when we take a look at his abilities, we start off with Fell Flame. Fell Flame, you shoot out a flame. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is your spam ability. Next off, we have Drain Life, which is a target ability, which, as you can guess, you drain life from. So, the way this usually works, you can see the numbers, 137 and 179 at level 1. You're dealing damage, but you're also gaining a lot more health. And then you look over at Life Tap. Well, Life Tap gives you mana for health, because you don't regain mana, as you can see. So, as you're spamming, you're going to be using up all of your mana, which you will then need to tap to get back. And then drain life in order to get back your health. Corruption is a bounce, kind of like a bounce spell, similar to Cho'Gall's, but it doesn't bounce, it just kind of happens. Although it does look like a bounce. Yeah, that's a really complicated way to say that. You can kind of line it up on target so that they get hit by multiple stacks of it. Let's demonstrate this over here. And you can kind of notice as they get hit by multiple stacks, they are I'm just gonna sit here and drain health. As they're getting hit by multiple stacks, it is stacking up how often, so 213 damage over 6 seconds isn't a lot, as you can pretty much tell. However, 200 there we go. Oh, he's dead. 213 happening twice every second for 6 seconds, or yeah, stacking. That's how stacking works. All in all, if we get some minions out here, you can use Drain Life on minions, so you don't have to worry. It isn't a hero-only spell. So in basic combat, what you'll end up doing a lot is kind of spamming out your spell flame to clear the wave. And if they ignore you like this, then you just kind of tap near the end and get some health back. I like to try to keep one minion or so alive, if I can, to eat. Minions, as you can see, take significant damage, and there's a couple of abilities that you can tack on that kind of increase the value of killing a target, as opposed to just sitting here and eating. Moving while draining life will cancel it out. But all in all, Gul'Dan works as a pretty decent sustain mage. If you overstep, you will die very fast. And as you can see, if you need to get back your mana, it can kill you if you don't do it at a good time. However, in lane, you can just always walk up to a minion and eat someone. Go ahead and toggle those off. Okay, so to start off with, let's go ahead and start with level 1 tactics. Well, start off. To continue, let's go with level 1, or level 1 stats. You start at level 1 with 1,716 health with 3.57 regeneration. You have 500 mana with no regeneration other than your life tap. You have a attack range of 5.5, attack damage of 62, and you attack once per second.
Choose a talent.
At level 10, you have 2,443 HP with a 5.05 regeneration, 590 mana, 89 damage. At level 20,
choose a talent.
You have 3,618 health with 7.49 regeneration, 690 mana, 132 damage, and finally, at level 30, we have 5,358 health with 11.06 regeneration, 790 mana, with a grand total of 195 damage, or 195 damage per second. At level 30, your Fell Wave deals 676 damage. Life Drain deals 429, as you can see, and heals you for 558. Corruption deals 762 damage. Multiply or stacking, and Life Top now costs 760. So, untalented. Just to kind of go in here and show some differences. I don't know why I'm dodging. Like, I legitimately don't think you can actually dodge those rocks anymore. But
This realm's power will be mine.
now with these guys moving around, it's great because it does let you. And once you take out the mage, they like their damage output does not outdo your healing. So just having one of them punch on you doesn't really hurt too much.
A ritual begins.
Now, one thing I should have mentioned earlier, you cannot actually life tap yourself to death. But unlike with WoW Warlocks, how once you hit that number, you can still life tap, but you then hit 1, they just won't let you. Well, they might have patched that. I remember back when I used to play Warlock, it would revert to 1, but that was years ago. Anyway, continuing. Let's go ahead and start looking at talents. At level 1, you have the quest talent Pursuit of Flame. The quest is to hit 40 enemies with your Fell Flames, and it increases the radius of Fell Flames by 10%. So, Fell Flames radius is pretty good. An additional 10%, I'm going to say, probably would put us out to about here. Not a massive. Like, if that was 100%, sure, I would take that every time. Or if it increased the width by 10% on either side, possibly. But just a 10% increase in the... Well, no, that is radius. No, wait. Yeah. That's an awkward one because there are technically 2 radiuses here. Because we're assuming that this is a cone and not a pyramid. But anyway, let's off topic. I like Pursuit of Flame, but I don't... It's not enough for me to want to take it. Next, we have Glyph of Drain Life. Increases the cast range of Drain Life by 25%. This means that you can cast it farther, but this also means that they can get farther away from you before the effect ends. I like this one because Drain Life is essential to your kit. It doesn't matter if you're building for damage, like if you're building your flames, it doesn't matter if you're building your curse. Excuse me. It doesn't matter if you're building to do Drain Life. It doesn't matter if you're building to do auto attack damage. Drain Life is essential to your kit. Next, we have Echoed Corruption. Hit 30 enemies with your Corruption. After the third strike, Corruption strikes 3 times in the opposite direction. Basically, this means boom, 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 like it will jump, 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 then jump, jump, back. This could be good in team fights because it allows you to get multiple stacks of it. Instead of throwing out 3, you're throwing out 6. The problem is, the hitting 30 enemies with it takes a while. You're lucky if you... Like, normally you're probably only going to hit 1 enemy with it. The thing has a 16-second cooldown. If you're able to throw this out every time, on time, and hit somebody with it, I mean, hell, that's I'm not going to do that math. That's like 8 minutes worth of constantly hitting. And if the game only lasts for 15 minutes, you probably don't have it by then. And then finally, Chaotic Energy. Gather regain globes, cause your next basic attacks with mana cost to refund 25% or 25 mana. Your next basic ability, if it's a Fell Flame, only costs 50. If it's a corruption, it only costs 60. Right? No. 65? Yeah, 65. And then it finalizes by, after collecting 20 globes, your basic attacks are permanently reduced by 20. So that's 20. So refunding 25 gives you back. Or, like, this only costs 30. And this one would only cost 45. It's nice, but I don't personally like it. I think Glyph of Drain Life is more important.
Their suffering will be legendary.
Next off at level 4, we have Health Funnel. If an enemy dies while under the effect of Drain Life, the cooldown is reduced by 6 seconds. Remember, this is a 10-second cooldown with 3 seconds of the cooldown being taken up by the spell. So it's effectively... What the hell is wrong with me today? It's effectively a 7-second cooldown spell. Lowering that by 6 seconds is a big deal. Improved Life Tap. Life Tap now restores 35% instead of 25%. And Consume Soul. Instantly kill a minion and heal yourself for 1,185 health at level 30. So here's where it comes out. Consume Soul is great, and you can, like, I think it stores up to 3 charges. It's a great little thing. Like, you're running low on health, you're running past a Maiden Wave, pop, 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 you're done, and you're back at full health while running. However, in the long run, Drain Health gives you 500 health per second, lasts for 3 seconds. That's 15. This isn't even 12. So, I personally prefer Health Funnel. You're probably going to see a theme going on here. At level 7, Bound by Shadows, Fell Flame. Each enemy hero hit by Fell Flame reduces the cooldown of Corruption by 1 second. So this allows you to spam Corruption by spamming Fell Flame. This is a pretty good one. Devour the Frail. Drain Life deals 50% more damage to enemies who are below 50% health. If you're going to go for damage for your Drain Life, this is a great spell to have. If you're just using your Drain Life to keep you up, killing off an enemy is actually a little bit counterintuitive, even though it's, well, why would you want to keep your enemy alive? Because the longer that fucker's alive, the longer I can drain that battery. Curse of Exhaustion. Upon expiration, Corruption slows enemies' movement speed by 50% for 2 seconds. Now that is after expiration, so that's 6 seconds
Disorder
after Corruption
gives way
hits.
to the fell.
And then finally, Hunger for Power. Increase your ability power by 15%, but reduces the healing effect from allies by 25%. Allies don't heal you as good, but your heals are still fine. Like, it doesn't reduce your heals, just the ally heals. I like Hunger for Power.
The Nether obeys.
At level 10, we're going to take Horrify. After a short delay, deal 390 damage and fear enemies in the area for 2 seconds. So to show this ability off real quick, small little pop.
Essence of fear.
Go ahead and call out Arthas so we can kind of show off on it. He runs away, he's feared, he loses control. Only lasts for a couple seconds. He gets a small amount of damage, but it is not cancelled by damage. Did not think he would attack that. That was awkward. Well, I mean, not awkward, but interesting a little bit. Anyway, and as I was saying about Drain Life, turn off pressure. You can Drain Life, and you just have to deal with like a second or so of cooldown, Drain Life again. Like, yeah, you can farm minions really well with that stuff. Next off at level 13, Fell Armor. Hitting an enemy hero with Fell Flames grants you a spell shield that reduces ability damage taken by 30% for 2.5 seconds. This is really nice, but as I've said before, as a defensive spell, if you have to take it, take it. If you don't, I wouldn't suggest going for it. That's just kind of how I feel about defensive spells in general. Harvest Life increases your healing from Drain Life when it's used on heroes. So if you use it on a hero, it increases the amount you heal by 50%. I mean, yeah, that's money right there. Dark Bargain. Your maximum health is increased by 25%, but your death respawn time is increased by 15 seconds. And Health Stone. Activate to heal you for 30% of your maximum health. Has a 60-second cooldown. For me, this one's kind of between Harvest Life or Healthstone. If you're on a map where you're doing a lot of team fighting and you're hitting heroes, or you're able to drain life on heroes but not so much minions, Harvest Life. You're getting that extra time in. But at the same time, if you're on a map where you're more in team fighting and less in minion farming, you're probably also not, instead of taking Health Funnel, you probably would have taken something like Consume Souls or Improving Life Tap, so you don't have to waste so much health getting back mana. I like Health Stone. It's nice, it's interesting, it just kind of pops in there. So it's like, oh yeah, you're taking damage. This time, instead of having to go run by and triple tap a couple of minions, you just pop the Health Stone on yourself. 60-second cooldown, it's easy. Consume Souls is 30 second. I think it holds 3. If it only holds 2, it's literally the same amount for a small, or the same amount of time for a smaller hero. Come on, stay up. At level 16, Rampant Hellfire. Hellfire's damage is increased by 6% for 5 seconds after hitting an enemy hero. This stacks for 5 or up to 5 times, so that's an additional 30%. Ruinous Affliction. Corruption deals an additional 235 damage on impact. If the enemy is hit by all 3 strikes, the third strike deals 757 damage. This one's kind of hard to suggest. Yeah, that's really fast, and if you can get somebody running away from it, you're going to devastate them, but I mean, it's just not something that you can reliably hit, in my opinion. I mean, maybe a pro can, but on average, you're probably not reliably hitting that. Where Darkness Within, after using Life Tap, your next ability gains 20% increased ability power.
Yes.
So that's every ability. So whether that be your Life Tap, which gains 20% increased damage and healing, whether that be your ult, didn't know that would happen either. Yeah, like everything, increasing. It's nice. Actually, the real question is
the only
okay. 2,000 health. Yeah, so it even increases the amount you heal from your health stone, ironically.
The time has come.
Anyway, continuing on at level 20. Haunt. Increases the duration of Horrify by 1 second, and fear enemies become vulnerable, taking 25% damage. Or Demonic Circle. Summons a demonic circle that you can teleport to. I'm going to take Haunt because the vulnerability makes it great, and I'm kind of demonstrating a good build here. A good build. Yeah, that makes me sound so cynical. This is kind of closer to a build that I've been playing around with. So, just kind of demonstrate this one. Reset cooldown real quick before the fight. Huh, that's weird. So, do try to aim a little bit with your curse, because you can target your corruption in a way that will double tap somebody. Although if you can cast corruption while they're running, like that, like, I mean, I am surprised I didn't kill him. This guy. If you're going to drain yourself low, like I did, and you're gonna have to tap multiple times, make sure you throw out a spell between tapping, just to use up the extra the bonus damage. Although Healthstone could definitely be that extra spell.
That was rather entertaining.
Now, do remember the your spells do hit enemy units. So, if you do take the Ruinous Affliction, that can be used to triple hit the Nexuses and Keeps. I think ports are too small, or maybe ports also work. It's weird sometimes, but you can use that to hit these buildings to make sure that you do as much damage as possible. I probably would have actually killed that if I had that, because that looks like maybe 1,000 health left. I'm kind of bad at building health, but like that's probably a good 1,000 or so health. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, like, yeah, it's dead now. So, like, if I would have had the stack, or if I would have had the extra damage, it probably would have died the first time when I got a good triple hit. Let's go ahead and reset the talents, reset the forts. So this time I'm going to go for a more aggressive build. I'm not going to take any of the other quests because they just take so long to do. So, we're now going to take Consumed Souls, Bound, Rain of Destruction. Summon a rain of meteors in an area for 7 seconds. Each meteor deals 536 damage. To show you what that does, let's probably cool down this a little bit. It is a channel spell. You can't cancel it by pressing R again, but you can't cancel it by walking away. It has a 100-second cooldown, and it's unpredictable. If it was something like, dang it, I'm trying to remember the name. The moon version. Apparently, it only does stack to 2. My bad. If it was the moon one, where you're like, oh yeah, by the light of the moon, and then it targets enemies and hits them specifically, but half these shots are hitting well outside. With a good one, I could completely devastate this entire,
Your time
like
is
this
at
entire
its
wall right here. But with the ones I'm getting, like it took 2 of them, and the second one almost didn't even do it. But as you can see, if you get a couple of good hits, a wall going down, like the walls going down, towers going down, the gate, all of that can go down in one, but if none of them hit, it's worthless. And if I show you this
I will not be
with minions,
denied.
so imagine this is a fight. See, that minion was still alive at the end of the day. At the end of the fight, a minion was still alive. In an ult that is capable of taking out towers in one shot. What the hell? Okay, moving on. At level 13, let's go with Dark Bargain, just because it's cool. We'll go ahead and take Ruinous Affliction, because we're kind of building more for our Corruption. At level 20, Deep Impact. Rain of Destruction slows enemies by 90% for 0.5 seconds. That's great if you could effectively make sure that it was going to hit them. We're going to take Demonic Circle instead. So Demonic Circle is a 2-part spell, one of which has a near instant cooldown. And the other which has a full minute cooldown where you jump to it. So this could be used to, like, set yourself up. And then to jump back. This could also be used to set yourself up, go into a fight, and then jump back. You do have to reset your circle every time you jump to it, but let's go ahead and demonstrate this build in a fight. So remember, most of our stuff has gone into Corruption. Well, kind of into Corruption. So we're going to throw out Corruption first. And then we're going to start hitting with Bell. Damn it, I misclicked. Whoops. That could have killed him. It didn't, because none of them hit him. So we're going to go ahead and get in close. And now I can just throw from the side, and it's gone. Sure. Some interesting talents. Reset these.
I will not.
So, the 15-second increase does still affect you, as you can see. So you have like a 15-second lockdown on your spawn.
Brought to its knees.
Consume soul.
Is the
Pretty simple. You just walk over, eat, walk past. I thought he had another interesting spell. I'm feeling really dumb because I'm like, I could have sworn he had some. Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Choose a
But
time.
you said it doesn't really matter what we take.
their suffering will be
So this way, with Fell Armor, hitting a hero gives you a 30% damage boost on spell, or damage reduction on spells. So you can kind of see a little bit. Actually, I think, yeah, that's the damage increase that I'm getting by stacking it. You can see the little bubble around me to show the... So yeah, this is a nice little one. Increase, it gives you this little, the dots each time you hit. As well as a timer that shows you when it will wear off. And let's go ahead and stop that. Sorry about that. What I was going to say is, one thing I did forget to mention. If you spend your mana, stepping inside of the fountain will still give you back mana. Let's go ahead and set those cooldowns. I really hope I don't sneeze again. I don't know why, but I've been getting, like, I've been sneezing a lot today. You've probably seen a couple of times I've had to pause the video so that I don't sneeze into the microphone or whatever. Bad day. Let's go ahead and reset talents.
Choose a talent.
As for the quests, this one is to hit 40 enemies. I'm going to go ahead and go through and do that. So as you can see, let's find a good place to stand. This is the distance from this little plot of dirt. I'll be back in a moment. Now, with the quest completed, you can see the difference in distance. It's really not that much.
Choose a talent.
With Echoed Corruption, and again, I'll be back in a second to show you the difference. Well, Corruption, we already know what that looks like. And now at quest completed,
The time has come.
as you can see, I also took Ruinous Affliction to kind of demonstrate this a little bit. With this, you can try to trick people a little bit, as well as the simple
Killing spree.
double tap on buildings, like small buildings like that, which could only be double tap because they weren't big enough for triple tap, now become triple taps. Because instead of hitting it with just 2, you're able to get in there and hit it with 4. Now, the damage does only stack 3 times, so hitting people with more than 3 of them doesn't really do anything. Although, I do believe the initial damage still happens.
Infinite bliss.
So, like, we'll demonstrate on the core. So the initial 200 does still happen, but that 700 is really what does it in. Anyway, yeah, the other quest is just pick up a bunch of globes, and it's a refund system, not exactly a spell effect, so I'm not going to go into that. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed this. My build for Gul'Dan is simply basically just go through and pick most of the Drain Life talents. They work pretty well. And grab the 2 talents that give you increased ability power, because the more ability power you have, the more health you gain and damage you do. So with this... Oh, what's wrong button? With something like this is 35% bonus damage onto 429 damage. It's actually that bad. Man, I wasted so much time. I could have just scared that into the dang battlefield and used that as a second hero. Because if you didn't know, you can actually get your quest targets off these things. But as I was saying, even something as simple as the standard 15 stacked to 35. So 145 a tick versus, well, I'm at plus 15 right now, so 123 a tick. Yeah, pretty good. I hope this was informative. I really like Gul'Dan as an alternative to other mages. He really doesn't add too much of his own to the table. His Fell Flame is a spammable wave clear, kind of like Li Ming's missiles. Drain Life is a interesting ability. Like the Drain Life Tap combo does give him some interesting roles. It makes him a mage that is a little bit tanky because he has that health sustain that can be up there with supports or tanks. So it does give him a nice little bit of stick-to-itiveness. That's not a word. But it gives him some sticky lane presence. That, oh yeah, well, I just hit Gul'Dan so, like, with a metal bat in the dick. He's gonna limp back to base, and then we're gonna be able to just farm this lane, and we pushed him out for a good couple of seconds at least, like maybe a minute. And then next thing you know, you see this green laser coming out of the damn. That missed horribly. Like, out of nowhere, you see this green laser coming out of a bush, and Gul'Dan's now on full health. And you're just like, well, we're fucked now. Because, like, I'm at 200 health. 1 W. 2,000. That's 10 times as much health as I had. If that would have been a minion and I'd killed it, I'd have then been able to heal again. Well, actually, if it was a minion, it wouldn't have had enough health to get me, or it wouldn't have stayed long enough to get me up that high. But let's demonstrate this on a minion. Just a random minion. Why can't I? Okay, not a lot of health right there. I grab an archer. I come up from behind, grab another archer.
This realm's power will be...
Life tap a couple of times because I've used up health. Grab Arthas because I have nothing else to do, and now there's somebody for me to damage. That is also an interesting thing. But yeah, so it's like, just because you hit Gul'Dan hard, he has that ability to stick with it that not a lot of other heroes have. And most other heroes could only dream of, basically. That's kind of funny, actually. Anyway,
This realm's power will be mine.
let's go ahead and actually get him away from there so that box can go away.
Of fear.
So, anyway, as I was saying, I hope this was informative. I hope you learned something. I want to see a lot more Gul'Dans out there because I think he was only released like today. But still, he's a great mage. He doesn't quite have the range of some of the other mages, but his healing abilities certainly do stick with it, and his fear's ability to just say, you know what? Screw everybody in this area who's not on my team. And even his Reign of Vengeance, is that what it's called? Reign of Destruction. His Meteor Storm can destroy an area. If you drop that on an enemy base, wait 100 seconds and drop it on an enemy base again, you can almost guarantee that an entire wall is gone. Possibly a fort, possibly a keep. Yeah, like that's a devastating spell, and if you drop that on a Nexus, you can almost guarantee that every meteor will hit that Nexus, because the Nexus is that large. Anyway, hope it was fun, hope it was informative. I think I've said that 3 times now. And have a wonderful day. Bye.